Chair Dobb,
Here.
you have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approve of the June 26, 2024 meeting minutes.
Approval, Madam Chair. Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Colleen, supported by Commissioner Clerk Coleman. Any discussion on the meeting minutes? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Motion passes. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business, discussion with the representative from the Prosecutor's Office Fraud and Corruption Investigation Unit per Section 73.3 A15 of the Fraud Investigation Policy regarding conferring semi-annually with the Committee on Audit regarding completed investigations and recommended improvements to the policy and in-county fraud control systems.
Thank you. Hi, Tony.
Chair. I'm Tony Guerrero, the Chief of Legislation.
Oh, is your microphone on?
Ah,
People on Zoom.
I'm Tony Guerrero, Chief of Legislation, Grants and Community Relations for the Prosecutor's Office. I apologize, but our Director of the Fraud Unit, Fraud and Corruption Unit in the Prosecutor's Office is ill today. There are several items that he brought to the Auditor General's attention. I would merely ask that we touch upon those that we can, and if the committee would allow, to put over for 2 weeks to the meeting of the 24th of July, and I will appear with Mr. Bivens, our fraud and corruption investigator.
That sounds good. Marcy, did you want to start?
Sure. Marcy Carl, Auditor General. As Mr. Guerrero indicated, James Bivens called me this morning and said he fell ill, so he wouldn't be able to make the meeting, but he gave me a couple bullet points that he wanted me to provide to the committee. The first one is that the email address for the Fraud Investigative Unit at the Prosecutor's Office, the email address is old, but it does work and goes through. He is working with IT so that they can update the domain, and once they get the domain updated, they will let us know and get it changed on all the correspondence it goes with.
Okay, and they've identified who is
Yes.
receiving those emails. So
Yes,
that person is aware.
That
of
it goes through,
Okay.
it's just the domain issue.
Okay.
And then the other item, there is a current investigation going on, but because it's a current investigation, there's nothing he's able to provide us at this time. And he does keep me updated on the investigations that are going
Okay.
on. So if you feel he should come back to the next meeting for 2 weeks, as Mr. Guerrero said, it'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah, if he's available,
Yeah.
that would be.
Madam
Just-
Chair, thanks to your Auditor General, we have corrected the problem that we had with the telephone line that was not being answered. Now that's been corrected, and there's a designated person answering that line. And likewise, we were aware of what was going to occur with the emails. So our our Chief of IT has worked with the Fraud and Corruption Investigator to get that straightened out.
Wonderful.
And I think by having them come back in the 2 weeks, it helps fulfill the obligation for the policy, for the
Okay.
semi-annual reporting.
Commissioner Colleen.
Madam Chair, I'll move to pass this item for the day.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Colleen, supported by Commissioner Clerk Coleman to pass for the day. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Or anyone wish to abstain?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Is there any last questions before we? Okay, all right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 2, forwarding a final copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Health Choice of Michigan audited financial statements for the fiscal years ended September 30, 2022 and 2023.
Marcy?
I'm not sure if we have representatives from Health Choice online. I know Commissioner Clean has sent a text message to Christopher Johnson, so maybe he's online. For the moment, if we could pass item number 3, because Joe Weish is online, we can move to that one.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, perfect. Is that?
Get up here and answer your question.
Good morning, Marcin. Can I just left him a message to Christopher Johnson.
He's
He just
here.
walked in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, good. Thank you.
Thanks.
What you have before you today, this is our financial assessment limited review report on the fiscal year ending September 30th, 22-23 financial statements for the Health Choice Corporation of Michigan. I have John Kellett and Tim Small that will be doing the presentation, and then I'll have Mr. Johnson introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Christopher Johnson. I'm
Oh,
the,
can you turn your microphone on? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
hi, I'm Christopher Johnson. I'm the Division Director for the Access to Care Unit within HHVS. I'm also the Executive Director for Health Choice of Michigan.
Mr. Small, if you could begin the presentation.
Good morning. I'll start from pages 2 to 3 of the OAG's report. The corporation's independent external auditors, Gregory Terrell and Company, provided an unmodified opinion on the audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2023. Communications received from Health Choice of Michigan's independent auditors indicated no deficiencies in internal controls and no instances of noncompliance or other matters that would require reporting under audit standards. Furthermore, auditor communication stated no significant audit findings and no disagreements with management regarding financial accounting reporting or auditing matters that could be significant to the financial statements or the auditor's report. From pages 3 to 4 of the OAG report, financial highlights. Net position represents the difference between total assets and total liabilities and is a tool for measuring financial health. The net position decreased by approximately $1 million or 7% over the prior year, fiscal year 22, primarily due to an increase in total assets. Total assets at September 30, 2023 approximated 21 million. That's compared to about 19 million in the prior year. The increase is attributable to a 2.2 million increase in cash and a $150,000 increase in investments, offset by 1.3 million increase in accounts payable. Total revenues decreased 6% or about 1.3 million over the prior year, primarily as a result of a continued decline in enrollment since the COVID-19 pandemic. Medicaid has increased substantially since the pandemic, with many members qualifying and moving to that program. Losses in membership were also exacerbated by continued negotiations with the large in-network hospital system that led to disruptions in services. Expenses totaled about 18 million for FY23, which are about 6% lower than the prior year due to lower amounts in payments to healthcare providers and administrator costs. With respect to budgeted amounts, actual FY23 revenues were approximately 65,000 less than budgeted, and actual FY23 expenses were approximately 400,000 less than budgeted. So based on our limited review, nothing came to our attention that caused us to believe the financial report, including the audited financial statements of Health Choice of Michigan, are not presented in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. So it is our recommendation that the OAG's financial assessment limited review report of the Health Choice of Michigan financial statements for FY ended September 30, 2023 be forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receipt and filing.
Thank you. Marcy, did you?
We had a question, I'm sure Mr. Johnson can provide the answer, regarding the continued negotiations with the large in-network hospital systems that may have led to that disruption. If you could maybe explain that a little bit.
Sure. As you know, it used to be Oakwood Health System. Then they were purchased by Beaumont. Beaumont took them over, and just recently Corewell merged with a hospital on the west side of the state. And so it was with the Corewell Health System that we were in negotiations with, which were resolved at the end of last year.
Okay, because I was wondering if that, I think it's United Healthcare or Health Choice that had the big hack earlier this year. Did that have anything to do with us?
Well, I think it was Corewell. It may have been a number of them,
Okay,
but
so
Corewell was
because-
hacked at one point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so because of their issues with that, then it led to some delays in the negotiations with us?
No,
or-
it was
okay.
pretty much just reimbursement rates were an issue with
Okay.
the new system. And so that's kind of what delayed it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Discussion. All right, any last comments
No,
from?
just
audit?
thank Mr. Johnson for his cooperation, completing the financial assessment.
Yes, all right, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Sorry, I was late.
Not a problem. Can I get a motion to receive and file?
There you go. I'll make a motion. Support.
Been moved by Commissioner Garza, supported by Commissioner Colleen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item.
Item 3, forwarding a final copy of the Office of Legislative Auditor General's Financial Assessment Limited Review Report for the Wayne County Building Authority's audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30, 2023.
What you have before you is, Cheryl indicated, this is a financial assessment for the financial statement audit of the Wayne County Building Authority audited financial statement for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2023. And we have Yogesh Gasani online, who is a Deputy Financial Officer that will be able to assist with any questions that the commission may have. I'm going to turn it over to Erica Jones, and she'll do her brief presentation.
Good morning. The Office of the Legislative Auditor General received the Wayne County Building Authority's financial report, including audited financial statements for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2023. The authority is a blended component unit of the Charter of Wayne County, Michigan. Plant Moran, the independent external auditor, stated that the financial statements presented fairly in all material respects the financial position of the Wayne County Building Authority as of September 30th, 2023. The auditors noted under the required supplemental information that management omitted management's discussion and analysis and the budgetary comparison schedule for the general fund that generally accepted accounting principles required to be presented to supplement financial statements. The building authority's net position increased by $499,634 in fiscal year 23. This change is primarily the result to an increase in prepaid items and restricted assets during fiscal year 23. As of September 30th, 23, the authority's total governmental fund balance was $8.3 million, which was an increase of $488,000 from the prior year. A significant portion of the fund balance is restricted to indicate that it is not available for new spending because it has already been committed to pay the debt service amount of $5.9 million, program activities of $1.1 million, and capital improvement expenditures of $776,000. The annual budget should be adopted on a basis consistent with generally accepted accounting principles and state law for the general fund and all special revenue funds. State law requires for the authority to have its budget in place by October 1st of each year. However, the Wayne County Building Authority did not prepare a budget for the years ended September 30th, 2023 or 22. This has been a repeated finding. Based upon our limited review, nothing came to our attention that caused us to believe that the Wayne County Building Authority's audited financial statements are not presented in conformity with the generally accepted accounting principles. It is our recommendation that the report on the Wayne County Building Authority's financial statements for fiscal year 23 be forwarded to the Wayne County Commission for receiving and filing. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Marcy.
Just a comment, Mr. Gasani, on the not having the budget for the building authority, is it possible that you could work with representatives from the building authority to ensure a budget is put in place and provided to the committee for the building authority and approved prior to October 1st?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, my video is not working. I'm not sure why, but yes, so these findings we already discussed in our, when we were discussing our act for findings probably 2 weeks back. So I just want to make sure that we do prepare, or building authority does prepare debt service budget. But the special revenue fund, because there's not much more activity left in the building authority after 2010 bonds kind of refunded, and the new jail bonds basically were issued from the county side. So that was one point. The other thing is most of the building authority activities are Inkster and Hamtramck building bonds, which again, we are just a kind of conduit agency. Every money comes from the state directly to the US bank, and US bank pays out to our management company. However, having said that, yes, I'm trying to work with a building authority, whatever the special revenue fund, that even though it's Inkster Hamtramck, money comes from the state, comes to US bank and gets paid to the management company. It's just being recorded in our books, actually. But I'm trying to work with a building authority, management and board, and we'll definitely prepare a special revenue fund budget this year.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any questions? Commissioner Kleen?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to underscore that. I don't think the report really shows. I've been on the audit committee 18 years now, and I've never known that we got a building authority budget, and we raise it every year for at least 18 years. And also the fact that there was not a management discussion, the old MD&A or whatever it is. So from an auditor's perspective, Madam Auditor General, not having an annual budget and not having a management discussion letter, how does that affect your ability to assess?
Well, again, these are reports that were completed by Plan Moran, the external auditors.
Mhm.
They have provided every year the comments that they need to have the measurement discussion analysis section because it is required
They're saying that to the
Yeah.
authority.
to the authority, correct. And along with the same thing with the budget, they keep repeating it year after year.
But from a general, just auditing perspective, the external auditor wants this. How does that, not having that, how does that affect the ability to audit?
I do not believe it affects their ability to audit the financial statements of the building authority. It's the additional information that it provides.
Commissioner Kleen, to the chair, MD&A is always unaudited. That's not, MD&A is just for
Correct.
the information purpose. It's not an audited
No,
document.
but there's a ton of great information in those.
Yes, there's an information, yes, can be provided, basically a management discussion, yes.
And I would like to hear from management through that vehicle for them to write their own description. Right now, we don't have really anything
Sure.
from the building authority.
I think Yogesh can correct me if I'm wrong, but the management and discussion analysis section would be a part of the financial statements that would help the readers understand the building
Correct.
authority, where the financial statements are what the auditors are actually auditing.
Correct. I would agree with that, and I think I plan to work with Building Authority Board and who is our senior executives who is managing the finance for Building Authority. We'll work with them and we'll make sure that we put the MD&A this year's for 2024 audit.
And Madam Chair, and there's no one from the building authority online today? So again, we're getting second, third hand. I think it is important for the audit committee to see that MD&A so that, because this committee interacts with the building authority more than any other committee. So at least this committee has a more thorough understanding of the building authority. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions? All right, can I get a motion to receive and file this item?
Make a motion.
Been moved by Commissioner Garza, supported by Commissioner Kleen. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? Motion passes. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
There are none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Does anyone wish to make a public comment to the Committee on Audit? here in the chamber or on the phone or on Zoom. If you're online, you can just unmute yourself. Any public comments? You receive any emails?
No emails were received.
Last call for public comments. Next item.
Adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Colleen, supported by Commissioner Clark Coleman. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.